done for this week? I think it looked like everybody did.
I think we got everything done. How is working in Power Apps?
Wow. I picked the wrong thing, let me tell you. I think one of the things that we forgot to assign last week was the sign-up process. I'm not sure that we might, but I don't think that it's. Was there a sign-up process that was on our requirements? Do any of you guys remember?
I think we talked about it and said that we wouldn't necessarily need a sign-up process.
Yeah.
That's why I changed it to a register, because, I mean, if you're a first-time.
I guess that's what I meant, was a register process.
No, I think in my head it was just part of this.
Part of the flow?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we didn't assign it last time. Luckily, it wasn't on the list. It wasn't on our list of due things. So we'll have to squeeze it in here somewhere. I think it'll be, I'd like to say it'd be academic, but I don't, man, formulas this time was a bear. I shared a couple of links with you guys for the Power Apps community. There's a lot of good info there. I posted a question there, got some response back pretty quickly. So if you guys are having problems, try that community out if we can't help you in the group. Trying to pull up. So I was originally, on my piece, I was originally going to do a requirement of, for password reset, of give you your username, give you your campus ID, the date you were admitted, and then we'll let you reset the password. It turns out the formula for that was a little complicated. And so I instead did the password reset to be a password retrieval. So if you have an email address, it'll email you your password. And that does work. All right, so let me pull up the list here. Oh, one of the other, I'm just going to go down the documents list here. I need to pull that up though. I seem to, oh, there it is. I lost it. What's that?
I can make you the presenter if you would like to just share the screen.
Yeah, I can just show my screen. All right, can you guys see it?
Yeah.
All right, we're just going to go down the list here. So is everybody clear on what they need to do to turn in?
Actually, no. I wouldn't really talk about it.
Well, I wonder if we can. I wonder if we can share the app with her.
Oh.
We can just add her to the to the SharePoint, and she'll have access to, and also I guess Power Apps.
Yeah, you can actually just share Power Apps as a can view.
Yeah, I think that's what we should do: is share, is get the link and then share that out to her. Now, we don't have to add her as a user. We can just share the link.
I mean, I don't think it would hurt to add her as a user, but she'll need to be able to see the screens and actually interact with it. She wouldn't know any of the like user credentials, so she would have to have access to the list to be able to
we could provide her with a couple of like an admin user credential, a student, and an instructor.
That must be Fonz in New Orleans.
That was Colton, no. Wasn't
it? Yeah, sorry.
Oh.
I stepped outside to take this call.
So, okay, so I'm not sure how to elegantly go about the process of sharing with her or making her a user without Does anybody know how to quickly and easily do that? Can we do that during the call here?
Yeah, I can sign in and do it right now.
And then if you'll just share the link in Asana, then we can all include that in what we're going to wrap up and send to her. So I actually posted. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, good. So based on what you submitted in Sprint, the Sprint task assignments, group member assignments of tasks, each group member should submit evidence of completing the sprint. So here's what I'm going to do. A group member assigned of the task done sprint, changes to the group. I'm going to submit a copy of the project work plan. I'm going to do screenshots of the pages that I helped develop.
That's what I was thinking.
And then I'm going to include a link that has a username that she can use if she feels like testing it.
So, okay. Okay.
Do you have another thought?
No, I mean, no, I'm just thinking about for those whose piece was function. But I guess we'll give her access so she can go through it if she wants.
Well, I would, what I would do is it's pretty clear if you submit a copy of the work plan, it's kind of clear that yours is functional. And I would just, if you're concerned about that, do a little write-up, just a quick Word document.
I mean, I was blessed. It was just pretty.
Okay, so we've got the UI page. I'm back. I'm going to jump back over to the work plan while you're doing that, Nikki. We got UI page specs. That's done.
So don't you think we could just submit the work plan and then the link, and that would, instead of having to do screenshots, or you think we need to submit screenshots of what we did?
Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to go with give her everything. I mean, you guys do whatever you feel is required. But I'm gonna screenshot it. She may not even go look. She may not click on the link and go look at it. Who knows if she has screenshots?
What's her last name?
Ooh,
Perez, right?
It's
Mira Perez.
That's it.
Has somebody gone through like the whole thing of Power Apps and logged in to make sure like all the functions were working?
Yes.
Okay.
So there wasn't a ton that was due this time, except for the landing, the landing page and that kind of stuff. In fact, you know what? Let's just do that right now.
Because I know on the the student profile page, you're supposed to it's supposed to have whoever's logged in, their name show up. Mm-hmm. I don't know if mine was really working because I had that glitch last night with the logins. I couldn't really test it, and I'm traveling for work, and the hotel Wi-Fi is horrible. So I don't know if I'll be able to make it through Power Apps. Like I can try, but I don't know if it's gonna. It was slow on my personal Wi-Fi at home, so I know in a hotel it's gonna be pretty slow.
Yeah, let's take a look here. Let's let me pull up a username.
And I finished. I sent it to the teacher.
Okay. So you wanted the user's name like that, maybe underneath the guy's image here, is that what you're thinking?
I think we said at the bottom right of the icon, right?
Yeah, so it would go beside it.
Okay.
Or anywhere, but I just put the man there so that when it came up, if that's where you wanted it.
Yeah. We also need to make sure that we put a back button on every page, just as standard practice.
Well, I wouldn't put a back. I wouldn't.
Yeah,
I need to find a sign out.
yeah, a
Icon.
log out button.
Right. So they didn't have, odd enough, they didn't have one in their. Another thing that I've noticed is I will save it to where, like, my courses, for example, looks normal, and then when it saves it, it changes it again. So I have to work on that.
I don't know. I'm not following. What changes?
So when you logged in to the actual profile, you notice it says like my courses, my user, whatever their icons are. Well, some of the text will look correct, and then when I save it and come out of it and back into it, like right now, if you look at it, I think it's a student profile. It says my CO, and then the rest of courses is on the next line. So it's just format, but y'all needed to do actual connection work, so I got out of it until then.
Oh, this is it.
That's admin.
Yeah, here we go. So what is that link? I didn't test that. Oh, it's not really, it doesn't do anything.
I didn't connect any of that. I didn't connect that icon to anything. It was just to represent the person.
Yeah, fair enough. I was just curious. I saw it hover, so I saw the finger come up. I was wondering what it did. Okay. So we've got the base stuff. We've got stuff. Did that answer your question on whether or not all of the functions work, you guys? Or I think I don't have an admin login. In fact, you know what? I don't think we have an admin.
Yeah, we do. Go to site contents.
Home. I can't remember where it's at.
I think it's site contents.
There you go.
And eScholar admin.
Yeah. So let's. Okay, let's go back. So I'm assuming that that's just a text box, not necessarily something that has.
Yeah, that's just a text box.
Okay, fair enough.
I didn't reference into anything yet.
I don't think it's important for us to get done for this this particular sprint, but we'll do it down the road. So let's go through the list here. So start login page for, that's done. User account setup page. A new user account setup page. I guess we did assign that, Alfonso. It looks like maybe we missed that one on you.
I think we determined that that the users would already exist. I guess from if you go to the school, then you are a valid user. And all you have to do is log in.
Well,
But if for this we need to create that, then I'll have to figure out how to have it interact with the list that we already have.
well, the program itself was in the description was something that was an added resource for students. So, I mean, it wouldn't be like Moodle like we get right now. So they would still need to, they would be given access. Like we would set them up on the back end, but they still have to register to create the active account. It's kind of how, that's what, but I built the landing page. We just would need to, I mean, that's how I would see that you would enter new users for the program.
Is that going to put you in a bind, Alfonso, or do you want to shoot for having that done by this evening? Or I think it's going to take a little more than an hour or two to get it done, to be honest.
I'm still thinking, I'm not really sure on how to of creating a new user. What does that really mean?
So you would take, so the spreadsheet that you have right now, you could turn into a form or use those fields as a form, just capture the student's data.
And would it update the list?
So it would update the list, right? And so you would, that's how you would create the list for the logins.
Oh, okay.
So here, if it were, let's say it were in real time, it was for the school, they would have a list of campus IDs that would have already existed that you matched them to. So it would authenticate once they registered, and that's where your login information came from.
Okay. I'll try playing around with that tonight.
What do you want me to do on this as far as completed goes?
I mean,
do we want to push it out?
Keep it as completed. I mean, we can put a note in there saying that still working on connectivity, but ultimately the student base is completed. We just need to figure out that itty bitty piece. I don't think she's going to count off for that. That's my personal opinion. And I can go ahead and drop the fields in. That way, it really is only a piece that we need to look at that's not completed.
Okay. So create a lost password process. That was me. That one's finished. A login landing page for the student view, that's completed. Login page for instructor. Here, let's just copy this. Admin view. Create what searches will look like. Admin, instructor, and student. Did we get that one done?
What searches will look like?
Yeah, line item number 23 is create what searches will look like. Admin for the admin. So page works in Power Apps and meets. Oh, okay. So basically that is the, when they go to do a search, this could be probably popped up. You know, the functionality wouldn't be there, of course, because we don't have any data to search against, like you know, course instruction and that kind of stuff. But essentially, so part of what these guys need to be able to do is search for whatever they need. You know, master class lists, support lists, that kind of the stuff that we have listed here, or maybe when you click into My Reports, what options you have.
What I can do for tonight is, those already have landing pages to them. I could put the search icon with a box so that we can search students and just pop that in for Sprint 3, the actual data.
Okay. That sounds reasonable. So I'm going to mark you guys down as yes on that. I got the testing criteria done. I will upload that into the SharePoint site as well. And again, that's the testing that I did was functional. It didn't test whether it brought data back, you know, whether it populated data properly or not. So it's, do the links on the page work? Do they go where you expect them to go? Those sorts of things. All right.
Is there anything that didn't work for others? Should we do something different for next go round?
I think the biggest thing for me is as you guys start getting into some of these other areas and start making these links go off and you want to populate stuff, you're probably going to have to get into the advanced functions. That's what I struggled with over the past couple of days. Again, refer to those links that I put out there. It's just painful. It's like learning a new language. I know Alfonso spent a couple of days trying to get functions to work properly as well for some of his pages. So I think some of you guys probably got lucky and didn't have to do much with functions this time, but I'm guessing on this one, plan to spend a little time, budget some time for that, because it's head scratching.
That's why I tried. I mean, I know personally I tried to format the pages in such a way where there was minimal. You guys can just go to the pages and connect the data from there. Now,
I don't think, Nikki, that we all are, as far as terminology goes, that we're all on the same page with understanding what you mean by that.
Okay, so these pages, like the way that it's formatted with the master course list or support task list, all of those settings, if you click them, they've already got their navigated page that comes next. So, you know, if you click them, each one of their landing pages are next. And so while we're starting to build those databases for the next round, I'll already have all the icons in that you'll need to connect with, just like for, you know, Alfonso, for example, all of those login pages were done. He should have just had to put in the connection for sign in and not really touch anything else.
Well, when you say put in, now you're really the only one who has experience with this. So when you say put the connection in, to me, the only way I know how to do that is to, you know, do the, when you click the link, it invokes a function. And that function may just be a link to another page. But if that function gets as complicated as go pull data off of a spreadsheet, and if you need to look up multiple columns and based on those columns only populate one or two things, that's where it starts getting complex.
It is, I mean, I absolutely agree with you. It is complex.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't, tackling this the wrong way, that there's some, if you go, oh, you just needed to hit this box and go here, I probably would have banged my head on the desk.
No, and even if I did know that, I wouldn't tell you so that you wouldn't bang your head on the desk because we need a project manager. So I just meant my goal is so that y'all can focus on that one box, that one, add that function into the box so you don't have to worry about the rest of it. So if there's a page that doesn't look the way you think it should look based on the data that you're trying to pop in, you just tell me and I'll change it so that y'all don't have to do that part. Because
Okay.
so like when we're moving on to the next piece, when you're looking at the searches for those pages, it's not going to look the same. We're going to need to use not a blank sheet. We're going to need to use there are different grids. And a good way to look at this is if there's a template in Power Apps called IT Help Desk, and it's just one of their templates, and it's really good to go look at and see how they have their pages connected and what they look like.
Huh. Maybe you can, let me look here real quick. It was called IT what? IT Power Apps?
It was in Power Apps, and it's just one of their templates. So if you go create a new app based on a template, it's IT Help Desk.
Oh, I see what you're saying. That makes sense. Okay.
So, I mean, we have a little time. So if you want to go to File and New, and we can all look at it together real quick. So if I'm
Sure.
speaking Greek, y'all can at least see what my Greek means.
Yep.
Go to App Templates and do Tablet Layout. And let's see. Service Desk. I'm sorry, it's called Service Desk.
Oh, there we go.
It should have a Use button somewhere.
Yeah, it's not lit up though, which is really odd.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
I wonder if
any of the other ones will let you, or if this one's.
let me let's do this. Huh. Service desk assignments. Yeah, that's odd. Where would you like to add the data for? Choose your. Maybe we have to choose connections first.
Usually.
Very odd.
Okay, so.
Let me see if it has connections listed in here. Maybe that's the problem.
I can share my screen.
Okay.
I say I have it up. Watch as soon as it won't download. Okay, here we go. So while this is a very different app than we're creating, let's see. This is how the next screens will start to look. So they'll be a lot less granular, where you can get into different pages. You have to build components in. This is when I'll need to work with you guys on what do you want, or we'll need to work together so I don't build a page that makes no sense to your data. Because you can, for example, like this that's add a ticket, or this is create a ticket. You put in the data, and then it works. And so, let's see. I mean, it updates and everything. So this is how we'll have to do courses, new registration for courses. So
Yeah. Searches, those sorts of things. So can we go look? I'm just curious to see. This is a really good tip because I didn't even think of this when I was banging my head on formulas. So yeah, so on select on that one is false. Data.
but it could be because it's a template, it's not letting you see the data.
Right.
No, I take that back because I remember when I first started practicing in it, it did have data attached to it. See?
It probably did. Yeah, it probably did. There you go. Yep. That is a complex looking formula. So for anybody who's done any programming, one of the things that really helped me with these formulas was to actually just grab the formula out of here and throw it in a notepad and then literally divide it up the same way. Say you're doing Java when you do a curly bracket and then you, for the formatting, it really helped me to see what was going on with the formatting by doing that. Because it works the same way essentially. You've got routines, but you've got things going on inside of the brackets that is going to be returned to the thing previous, like the navigation or the set. So you've been warned, guys. It's the formulas can get kind of complex depending on what you're doing. So again, schedule a little extra time for that. And again, Nikki, that's good advice to set up a just one of their templates. I'll have to figure out what's going on with mine.
And it may be, let's look at some other different templates that they have in here and see what's best for.
You may be able to pull different things from all the different templates they have to get some kind of task accomplished.
See, like this.
That's what when we first started, I just went and made a template and just started looking at all the functions and I mean, it does help. I mean, it's basically Java. It's just different way of doing it.
So like this PDF reader one, this is really good to take information from when we're, because I think some of the reports you need to be able to print them if I recall.
And we may be able to use the contest registration one to do any, do basically
register the new accounts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, this is how I built the first one that the one we used for the end of last semester. I built it off of the service desk. So, which really just meant I used it, stripped it completely down to nothing, and learned it to regurgitate it. So,
so when you click on contest registration, does your use light or does your use button light up? Oh, it does. Okay.
it does.
Yep.
Yeah. And then case management might have some for like the course management. If it's managing accounts, it might give us some information to manage those different courses. Oh, I always forget you have to actually play it.
Play.
Yep. There you go. Good. That was a good call. Wait a minute. You tab once and it takes you to the end. So
Tab orders off.
Yep. Yeah, let's critique them on their work because it's not right. Nothing happens. Oh, nice. So yeah, this will be a good one for us to look. And you can copy and paste these functions. You just have to make sure you have the right database.
Yep. You just have to clean up the links. Okay.
So for tonight, I will go finish adding those icons in since we have to have the search. I'll go ahead and go add those. And I just downloaded a sign out icon. Does the information for each student need to land on the page for this one, or can we make that happen in the next one?
The info for each student.
So when you sign in as a student profile, does that need to come over to the actual login page?
Oh, you mean like show in the upper left-hand corner or something like that? Hello, Nikki, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose it's probably good design. I'm kind of focused on the let's get the minimums, the bare minimums done, and then we can make it fancy.
Well, I just didn't know if that was part of the functionality.
Well, let's go take a look and see what the. Let me look at the documents here real quick. Project plan, requirements document. I have the requirements document out there on the SharePoint. So primary system requirements should be able to hold large files, photos, videos, audio, high resolution images, web-based. Okay, system should provide a file search based on keywords and directory/browse listings of available sessions. System should provide a request your lesson form to be completed by a user. Should keep track of student progress, time in system, and lessons/files accessed. Ooh, that'll be fun. System should keep track of student evaluations and student assessment results. Should allow administration to do the following: create, modify, and delete accounts, run access and use reports for all accounts and files in the system, create PDF and Excel downloadable reports, upload new lessons with all components, should allow instructors to create groups of students, select specific files or groups to be evaluated, upload new files and create assessment questions, run access reports for student accounts in the system, review student assessments, create an Excel or PDF download. And then finally, the student should be able to search the database of lessons with keywords, select an image or group of images to evaluate, and add notes to their account based on specific file evaluated. That's it. The only other requirements are that the College of Business and Technology branding should be used. System should be intuitive and easy to use. A clean design is preferred.
Okay.
So I encourage everybody to make sure you go look at at those requirements documents when you're building your pages, because those items need to be included in there. And it's out on the SharePoint site under documents, under project plan documentation. Okay. All right, are we ready to move on?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to, Nikki, if you want to present my screen again.
Hold on, GoTo went into a like a weird.
I just sent a request to see if I can share my screen. Let's see if that'll pop up for you. All right. Okay, it should be up. Everybody see it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
test is developed from Sprint 2 and provide formal reports of the issues. TBD. Okay, we've got to assign all of these guys. Okay, I can go ahead and do the testing. Will get a little more involved later. Unless somebody else wants to do that, I can go through and test all the pages. So fix issues. So that'll be, so what we'll do here is if there's something that I can't fix or I'll email whoever developed the page, but I'm just going to put all on this one. Which is fix issues discovered. Create a page to view and create the group process. So that is something, that is actually something that's going to be on everybody's pages. Because if we look at the requirements docs, a page to view and create group process, who does that?
Say that again.
The item we have, and we may need to change it, we may need to break one out for each page, is create a page to view / create the group process. So I think that is the create groups piece right here, create groups of students. Let me edit this. Edit in the browser. I'm going to bold those. So that's the instructors. The instructors create groups. You should provide a request your lesson. Okay, so it looks to me like create groups of students is an instructor task. So who had the professor's page last time? Let's look here. Instructor.
I think that was me.
That was you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna assign this one to you as well because that's
Okay.
it's that function. Let's see. So, Nikki, are we going to keep you on the UI design for these, or?
I mean,
Are we-
I am comfortable with that.
Okay.
I'm also happy to take something else. So
Okay. Well, I guess maybe the question is there any reason that that based on what we have now that each person can't do their own UI design for their own pages?
I mean, that's
Hey, I like.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I like. I mean, not that I'm trying to put too much on her plate, but I like because that is all the same. Like we don't have to because I worry that like mine's gonna look completely different. So I like the fact that the format is the same throughout, and we don't have to worry. Like I don't have to worry about what Colton's doing. Like does his look different than mine? Like I think that's good. It's a good flow.
It worked well.
Yeah.
Well, if you're comfortable with that, we'll stick with that. It seemed to work.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that because I try to make sure that all the icons, they're similar, they're the same size, the pages look clean, so I'm happy doing that.
So now we've got a page for file evaluations. I really should have, when we did this initially, I really should have done, should have added the instructor info and what page it was for. So file evaluations, let's go back and see who does file evaluations. Select specific files for groups to be evaluated. That's that one here. So that's also the instructor page. So we're going to lay these out based on what page was worked on. But if we get to the end and we find out that one of them is somebody's just overwhelmed, we'll go back.
Some of these pages are actually across all users.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see one yet that I've mislabeled, Alfonso?
They're not mislabeled. It's just by trying to break it up between what type of user each person was responsible for. It gets a little muddy when you're doing the like on line 34 page for reports and views for students, admins, and instructors, as well as the next one. It gets a little bit more. Someone's task is going to be to do that as well for at least their user.
Yeah. Well, and the reality is that's not really much different than what we did for the landing pages, right?
Correct, because I did landing the login process for each type of user. So
yeah. Okay.
So does it make more sense for us to pick a type of user and that person or persons team up to just stick to those areas since they are a little bit different? Even with reports, a professor's report looks different than a student's report.
or how about just doing the different processes? Just be responsible for that process, no matter which user you have to
Or vice
specialize.
versa. Yeah.
So like my process was the login process. I did it for all users.
Yeah.
True.
It's congruent that way. I mean, the process, you know what I mean? It's clean. That's a very clean way to do it.
Right.
Yeah, so if you have a process, you'll have to think about it from 3 different perspectives. And
But it's also not a waste of time and resources because one person has figured that process out and they just continue it through. Yeah.
correct.
No, I like that. That's a good idea. All right, you guys. Well, then what we're going to do here is let's go down the list and you need to pick what you want to work on. What looks interesting to you?
I see on 33 the page upload new files and create assessment questions for files.
Mm-hmm.
I think that might be a little challenging, but I might have an idea. I'm not sure yet.
So you're putting your hand part way up?
Yeah.
Well, it's fully up now because I just put it up for you.
I'm fine with that. I'll figure it out.
Okay. All right. Next one is page for reports, views for students, admins, and instructors.
Might have to draw straws on that one.
I'm just going to start going down the list and picking here.
That's fine, Ray. You can put me. I'll take care of it.
Okay. Was that? I'm sorry. Was that Brianna? Who is that?
No, that was Alicia.
Oh, okay, Alyssa. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next is Create manage account page. I'm not sure what the account page is.
Well, that's probably
I
like my
think
settings where you have to the profiles for the users.
or
Or is it the
for the
entire account page?
admin person would be able to manage all accounts, which means deleting accounts, creating accounts, or modifying accounts. An instructor would only be able to, not really sure. I'll have to look at the use
The
case
requirements.
diagram.
Oh, the use case. Okay.
You think we would have pulled those out? That would have been. I forgot
Okay.
about our use cases.
Manage account activities. Again, I'm not. It must have came directly off of here. PDF. Add notes. Select an image. Let's make this a little bigger. There's no zoom function in the web interface. Upload lessons, upload files, grade assessment questions, access reports for students, review student assessments. I don't see that. Create, manage accounts activity. I wonder if that's the, should have put better notes in here. I wonder if that's manage account activity. Student evaluations and assessment results. I'm wondering if that's not the how long you were on the site kind of a thing.
Let's see.
Administrator. This sounds more like an administrative and or instructor function. So here's the administrators. Administrators, instructors, and students. Assessments, page reports from students, manage accounts. Anybody have any ideas what this one might be? Let's create and manage account activity.
I'm looking at trying to see what my sprints were from last semester to see what that means. Use cases.
So, Alfonso, line number 35, that might actually, would that tie into the item that you have for this week, which was the, not what searches look like. What was that one? The new user account setup?
Yeah.
Would that tie into this one that I assigned to Colton?
It would for the create piece at least.
So there's a manage piece as well there. I'm just wondering if it wouldn't make more sense to have you do that one since you're already building out the new page setup piece.
Yeah. I can do that. Or
Well, I'm just kind of thinking out loud. I don't want to overload you here.
based off of the diagrams, the use case diagrams that we submitted, manage accounts is attached to it's attached to the student user, and that only extends to modify account, and also attached to the administrator user, which gives them the ability to add accounts, delete accounts, and modify accounts. So those are three functions that process manage accounts would consist of. So I'll be able to do the manage accounts part based off of what the use case diagram is saying.
So which one, line 35 or line 36?
Manage accounts. I think it's 36. Or what activity? Manage account page. It would be actual connectivity. So I think 35 and 36 would probably be the same thing. So I'll be creating if I did that, then I'll be creating the initial page, and then on each page, I'll be creating whatever the buttons do, which would be creating accounts, deleting accounts, or modifying accounts. So that's all tying into searching for a user and modifying that user's account. So I guess 35 and 36 would have to be my thing because it's tying in with what I'm doing this week.
35 and 36, but we've already got you up here on.
I know.
Let's take you off that one for now.
Okay.
And let's put you on these two. And let's take you off that one. Okay, so what else do we have? Create pages discovered during a use case. Okay, so this is a padding one that was, hey, if we saw that we left something out and we need to throw it in, let's throw it in here. So I'm going to take.
Hold on.
What's up?
You skipped one of them. You didn't take my name off and put Alphonse's name on there, but you put it on line, is it 37, create manage lessons page instead.
Lesson page. Oh, you're right. Good catch.
I try.
Okay, so now what have we got here? We've got, Alfonso, you're taking 35 and 36.
Yeah, 35 and 36.
Okay. Great manage lessons. Okay, so then we've got to be able to manage the lessons, the students and the instructors. And hold on, I'll give you that one.
Sounds good.
And then I'll grab this one up here. Come on. Okay. I'm just going to put in A here. Okay. One of the things that I'm also going to do is this coming week is I'm going to go through requirements and make sure that now that we have formed a little better plan in our mind about what this app's going to look like, the way it's going to function, I'm going to go through and compare them to our sprint task. Make sure that when we get to the end, we don't have 15 things to do that we weren't expecting.
Okay.
Okay, well, that was painful.
Listen, building anything is always painful when it comes to technology.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. The idea here, I guess, is to make sure the first exposure is not on the job.
Yeah, like like I just went through with my entire company that we rolled out a health record system and they'd never even seen it. So
That's crazy.
it was crazy.
Did you use Power Apps?
Oh no, we use SQL database and a cloud
Yeah.
user interface, which I think coding is easier than this. I guess because you just know code, like once you know it, you know it.
Right.
But I do understand that they're teaching point and click here. But whatever.
Yeah, but you know what I've run into with this Power Apps is that you still have to know a little bit about coding stuff. I kind of chuckled when I saw one article saying that it was designed for people who are not programmers because it helps a ton if you are.
It does help a ton, but
Absolutely.
you can also get in here and build something and learn a few things and still create something, you know.
Yeah, one of the things that was a little frustrating for me is I noticed that a lot of the documentation on Power Apps and a lot of the examples that they put out there are very, very basic. There's not a ton of extensive. How do you cross-reference these different data? So you really have to get into some of the people online who provide videos with some in-depth instruction on that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, well, enough of that. Okay, guys, anything else that, any questions you have or anything you're not feeling comfortable with or anything you just need to bring up in general? Okay.
I think I'm good.
I'm going to do the normal notes that I do, and I'll post them online.
On SharePoint?
No, on Asana.
Asana? Okay.
And I'll put them under Sprint 3.
And I will share the recording with everyone. So we did share the app with her, but did we determine how in Moodle, or not Moodle anymore, in NSU, how we were going to let her know what we did? Just a write-up?
I'm just going to do a Word document.
Okay.
That's what I was going to do. Just some screenshots and insert them all into the Word document and along with the work plan.
Okay.
And then is there a specific link, Nikki, that that you shared with her that maybe we could post in Asana so that it's out there?
Well, when you share it with, I'm sure we can create a link, but I just shared it with her through the app, so she should get a link in her email.
Well, you know what? I think I did that before, actually. App preview. Yep, I did. So anything that has links, like just so everybody knows, when I go to Sprint 3, I'll post also there the WebEx link and the SharePoint links, as well as the Power Apps pages and stuff. I'll just repost all of this stuff, and then I just tack it to the top of the page.
All right.
My concern with that is what I don't know is if we save and republish, because we're like on version 47. Does that link take you to the newest one or to the one that it created on that version?
I don't know. Let's take a look.
Oh, well, hold on. Let me save.
Okay.
I've been building the pages while we've been talking. Okay, now you can.
Okay. Well, let's go student login. Yeah, it looks like,
Yeah.
it's got the latest in it.
So if you go to the professor student list, it shows the search by student and all that in it.
Let me log in here. Oh, there's a way to, instead of doing pre-populated on these, there's a way to do a hint and then it's faded out so you don't have to delete these. I'll go through and fix that. I'm doing the assessment of the pages. That was instructor, I think. Or was it professor?
It's instructor. Instructor 3.
When's the next sprint due?
2 weeks from today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Too soon?
Okay. Too soon.
Too soon.
Yeah, because now I got to catch up on all the work I've been putting off to get this one done. Okay, so what did you want me to click on? Just anything?
Well, I want to see if I think it's professor student list comes up, and there should be like a search box and a list.
Signed student list, maybe? That one?
Is this it?
Yes.
Okay. So to answer your question, that was an old list, or that was an old link that I published. And it looks like it just gives you the new stuff.
Yep.
Cool.
That's good.
Yeah, we'll have to. All right, good enough. All right, guys, I'll do the notes again, and we'll go from there.
When are we expecting to be able to turn this in tonight?
Oh.
What part? You should be able to turn your parts in.
Okay. I was just like the updated work plan. If you said you're going to input some notes.
Oh, you know what? Go ahead. The work plan, as far as the sprint is done, is good.
Okay.
It's good enough to submit to show that we got the pieces done. So you can pull that anytime.
Okay.
Right.
Anybody else?
Hey guys, just a heads up. Next week for our group meeting, I won't be able to make it. I'll be in Utah for a vacation. We're going skiing, and we have something planned for the Monday night at 7, literally. So
Vacations are unacceptable. Don't you know that?
Yeah, but this was like such bad planning because I have literally so much stuff to do. So just a heads up.
I went on a work trip to Florida and sat in the room the entire time doing homework.
Oh, I know, yeah. I'm trying to avoid that, so I'm trying to get 2 weeks worth of schoolwork done this week, and I'm regretting it.
I had to quit my weekend bartending job so I could keep up with school this semester.
Yeah.
So because of our company, I have you know how you do like a half a semester in like 4 weeks? It's due Thursday, and I've not done anything. I have an entire semester to take in 4 days.
Oh my goodness.
Well, good luck with that.
I'm going to just show you in Excel with Ray's sheet he's got up. If you notice up there, it's got forms in it and his taskbar.
Yeah, I see.
So for anybody who has a data sheet that they need to create a form for, I would imagine you can create a form that uses your existing fields.
Cool.
So for the registration piece, or anybody, especially when you start looking at your course lists and all that stuff, build it in Excel and then create the form. It would probably be easier.
Good tip.
That's just an assumption I'm making, but since it's on the toolbar, so don't try it first. Anyway, sorry.
No, that's good. Because we are definitely winging it on a lot of this stuff. Huh. All right. Well, so Brianna, we will, when we do the meeting next week, as usual, we'll do the meeting notes. So
Okay.
you can
I'll
check
have
that
my
out.
computer I'll have all my school stuff with me, so if I need to do stuff while I'm there, I can. It's just we are going somewhere at Monday night at 7. So, anyways.
Okay. All right. Sounds great. All right, guys. I'm going to drop off, and we'll talk to you next time.
Okay,
right.
guys.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.